It is a pleasure to have her with her specialty for many, many years. Since I came to Anamag, I think she was already working in humanist education. So she started many activities. And I'll invite, when Shiva Pri is ready, I'll invite our brother Narada, who is one of the coordinators of Amandla Samaj Afrique, to present Samaj and present our Didi. So Narada, I think it is your time now.
What can I say about Amandla? Amandla is an association where we try to work together in the way of progressing with to deal with some problems of our humanity today. I mean, political, socio-economic problems. And we hope that in that way, we can change the world. And we call every one of you to join us to work together for this, to have action which will permit us to change really the world. Struggle against injustice, struggle for against all problems of which minorities are today to deal with. This is our objectives, and we think that you will be with us to work together for this. So, to present Didi for the conference of today, Didi Ananda Ramo. Didi is donc Didi is a yogi nun initiated in 1972. She works mainly on humanistic education and is currently based in the Cairo and New York sectors. Donc Didi aujourd'hui, qu'on reçoit, est donc une non-yogi qui a été initiée en 1972. Il travaille principalement dans l'éducation néo-humanistique et basé actuellement sur le secteur de care à New York. Donc, on va lui donner la parole et profiter de son expérience de vie spirituelle et professionnelle en même temps, puisque c'est la même chose. So, Didi, you can start, please. Namaskar.
Thank you, Narada.
Yes.
So I'm so happy to be part of this program and to meet you here. So I'm going to share the slides. So this topic is on neo-humanist education for Africa. So as the propounder of neo-humanism and neo-humanist education is Sri Prabhat Ranjan Sarkar, a philosopher and spiritual master from India. The human being in connection with the Creator, the Supreme Consciousness, and creation. In between, there is this new, ever new, means the human being will be always new. So, neo-humanism, also we can say in a practical way, it is the practice of love for all creation. And this beautiful image of this little girl, it is just totally saying the meaning of neo-humanism. So neo-humanism means love for the plants, for the environment. It means love for animals. You see that little girl draw the picture of herself with the bird on top of the head. And love for all people. So neo-humanism is something very simple, something very that everybody can understand from the heart. Love for the environment, from the ego to the eco, taking the entire environment and caring for it. So children are very close with being a neo-humanist. So here that love starts with loving oneself, and then the love to the family, the love to the community, then love to the country, then planet Earth, and then the universe. So it's the ever expanding feeling of love. And the highest is the supreme consciousness, God, in its infinite form. And here another image, you know, that self-love, if it is directed, if it is negative, if it is only self-centered, it will become the ego, it will become destructive. And even if it is, your love is only for the family, but not for the neighbor, it's again limited. Or if it is only for the certain territory, but not for the next territory or another part of the world, again, it is limiting you. You are confining your inner heart. And sometimes a social sentiment is an attachment to race, religion, class, social groups. So again, that is the fixed focus. When you fix it, when you make boundaries, then it becomes a dogma. So even when you take only human, you know, you love the humanity, but you do not care for the environment, again, you do not see the big picture. So the very expanded concept of oneself is to be connected with the entire universe and feel every part you inside you is the universe and outside you also. So neo-humanism stands for liberating of the intellect from dogma and limiting sentiments, because we have acquired from our environment, education, upbringing, that we have certain dogmas, certain limitations. So now our education is to break those limitations and extending one's loving heart to all and everything in this universe. So from this philosophy of neo-humanism comes the education that Sri Prabhat Ranjan Sarkar inspired and said that we should form the education in this concept. So the aim of education of this neo-humanist education is Savidya Javi Muktaye in Sanskrit. And that means in English, education is that which liberates from all limitations until you are enlightened personally. And then neo-humanist education, again, he said, it is a harmonious blending of the Oriental introversial philosophy and Occidental extroversial science. So it is bridging the inner and the outer into this field of education. So neo-humanist education has 4 pillars. One is a complete philosophy, guiding principles, flexible methodology, and teachers as leaders. So the philosophical foundations of neo-humanist education are fixed, and they have a certain concepts for ontology, for metaphysics, for spiritual practice, axiology, which means values or morality, and a certain concept of psychology, and epistemology, that means how to acquire knowledge. See, in the regular concept of philosophy, you have the 4 aspects. You have ontology, metaphysics, axiology, and epistemology. But our guru, Sri Pravat Ranjan Sarkar, he added spiritual practice and psychology, which makes the philosophy very practical and deep. And let's look at that. So ontology means understanding of the human being in their relationship to the supreme being. Just like, how he said, love is the starting point and love is the last point. To understand that the supreme being is not abstract, but it's something personal. It is love. And we all know, the feeling of love. Then metaphysics. Metaphysics is, we ask the questions, how did life come about? Matter, and then as he explains, matter evolved from consciousness and mind evolved from matter. And mind returns back to consciousness. And consciousness is absolute positivity. So in a very interesting and, it's a big ideas here, but they're very beautiful. It's really touching the, that essence, the love, the beginning, that everything comes from that consciousness. And that consciousness is positivity, which means infinite love. And so all matter that we touch, that contains that original essence, and even the evolution comes from matter and then goes back to that consciousness. And spiritual practice is something that we can do. We just take out, we become silent and we go close our eyes and we try to feel what it means. What is that love? What is my life all about? And so you see, these children are very natural. They can totally tune in because they're surrounded by love, ideally. So they close their eyes and they are in that space. So axiology is a harmony with others. So these are the principles: non-harming in thought, word, or action, using words for the welfare of others, non-stealing mentally or physically, simple living or non-accumulation, and seeing cosmic consciousness in all. So these very fundamental principles are we grew up from kindergarten, and these are very important until the last breath of our life. And the 5 principles are the harmony with others. And then we have the harmony with oneself, that is purity of body and mind, contentment, service and sacrifice, study wisdom sources, and meditation. Now I tell you a little bit about this girl on the swing. She was swinging on the swing and singing silently, closing her eyes, and she was totally absorbed. So when children grow up in an environment, it becomes something very, very nice. They enjoy that moments of spiritual inner development or inner being with you inside. So here we teach, this is a poster that we will use in our classrooms. How can I expand my circle of love? And that is, education is all about that expanding, with the values that you have as tools, and then expanding your circle of love. And then psychology. Psychology is something practical, not only a theory. So, and Sri P.R. Sakar, he uses biopsychology, which works on your glands and has a deep effect on your mind. So in the things that you consume, the food you eat, the exercises you do, all this helps in your psychology, affect your good psychology that supports, the body, which is then good for higher order thinking. So epistemology is the personal development and skills with the goal to realize oneself. Means self-knowledge. Epistemology means knowledge. So what do we learn in school? We learn how I can develop myself to become really a great person. And then the worldly knowledge, it is the ecological and social consciousness with the goal to serve the world in a better way. So definitely 2 aspects in our education that go hand in hand. So again, we had the philosophy. Now the guiding principles are influenced by the philosophy, but more details, and every school, they can focus on certain principles that they want to have as a theme of the year or in the classrooms or whatever. They already become a little bit flexible, or you can work with them in different ways. For example, the principle of joy in transformation. It is a psycho-spiritual process. So here you see the 3 colors, the black, red, and white. So the black is called represents the static force, and the red is the mutative, and the white is the sentient. So the mutative force overpowers the static force, and the sentient force overpowers the mutative force. So in your life, the sentient force works on the mutative, and the mutative works on the static. And that's how the human mind evolves. So this is one principle to understand that we use in education. Another principle is the balance between the personal development and the expected school success. So we have to work on both, not only that students have to pass exams to get jobs, yes, but what about the personality, the character? So another principle is that the personal development we see as the backbone of the curriculum. If you have a strong backbone, then you can do many things. You will know how to keep yourself upright And then you know how to use that inner strength to work in the world. So we have, as a personal backbone, personal development, we have certain subjects which support that very much, which is the music and the arts, language, yoga, philosophy, which means, you know, thinking, asking questions, and logic, then biopsychology, physical education, communication. And then the sciences are those skills that we need to serve the world in a better way. The earth sciences, ecology, physics, biology, geography, history, social science, psychology, etc. And the other sciences, the mathematics, physics, economics, technology, politics, research, etc. So you can see how neo-humanist education is understanding these two concepts of knowledge, the inner self-knowledge and the outer knowledge, worldly knowledge. So now, very interestingly, the founder of neo-humanist education, he defined education with these words, you know, which actually build the backbone. And they at the same time become actually the objectives of neo-humanist education. So E stands for the enlargement of mind. So the mind is enlarged, you know, it's expanded and, you know, embraces the whole planet, the whole universe. Then discipline, a very strong personal discipline that becomes your character, it becomes your nature from small. And a universal outlook means you love everyone, everything. Character comes from all these habits and practices. Active habits means like you are always, you know, love action, you know, you love to do things. And trustworthiness, you imbibe values in yourself, you know, that will make you very strong. And trustworthy, that people have trust in you. And then ideation of the great, that means that you are able to close your eyes and feel that infinite. Omniscient grace means like you feel that grace that is surrounding you and supporting you all the time. Nice temperament, that you are balanced and you can navigate your emotions, your problems in life, and keep your good temper. So the objectives for the worldly skills and learning is love for lifelong learning, benevolent rational intellect, committed to excellence, practical life skills, universal outlook, independent thinking and problem solving, maximum utilization of resources, financial intelligence, entrepreneur skills, teamwork, and leadership. So these are the objectives of neo-humanist education. So the next pillar in our education is flexible methodology. So this is one of our wonderful strengths and makes every school different. Though the philosophy is fixed and the principles are inspired by the philosophy and they can be used in various degrees or focus, then the philosophy and the principles influence the methodology, but the methodology itself is very flexible. So the methods are appropriate to the needs and culture of the students. They encourage the holistic development of the child, reflect the best available resources in the field, and are in harmony with the philosophy and principles of neo-humanist education. So the the philosophy and the principles are consciously applied to all methodology choices. So here are some methods that we are using in our education, basic fundamentals that you study in college about education. The absence of dogma means you keep out the politics, or you keep out certain ideologies from education. Let it be education in the true sense, or neo-humanist education in the true spirit. Then, method of awakening the thirst for knowledge, freedom from distractions. And we use play and games and stories through idealism and realism, through aesthetics and joy, through the use of rhythm and culturally sensitive approaches. Means you can have a school in any environment with any people, and you are simply adjusting to the needs. Holistic learning, integrated learning and interdisciplinary learning, and individualized approaches. So all these methods are considered when writing the curriculum. The curriculum is written by every school, considering all these factors and what they want to focus on, what are the needs, who are the parents, what is the community, who are the children. So in this way,
Aqui estou com um professor frutuoso, é doutor.
Did I go too fast?
No, you can continue, Didi.
Okay, so the last pillar in our neo-humanist education are the teachers. And the teachers we see as leaders. They are very, very respected members in the community who in fact are examples to the community. They are really the leaders of the community. So our master says they embody the noblest qualities of humanity. So I have used these pictures that I found, and they may not be teachers, but they look like teachers. Everybody is a teacher. You know, when we come into the field of education, when we love the lifelong learning, of course, everybody is a teacher. Anywhere, anytime, you know, with whomever you come in contact with, you have maybe something that you can teach, and that's something you can learn. So, and the teachers together, they plan and work out what is the progress in the community through proper planning and proper struggle to lead the society. It is a very hard work for teachers to really connect all the pieces in the community, the family, the community, the children, it's, teacher's job should be very highly paid. It's a high paid job. And just like, and according to our concept, the salary of the teacher should be as high as a judge in the society. So imagine not a lawyer, but a judge. So we have to work towards that. So how to implement neo-humanist education in Africa? So here we take some examples of what has been done already in other parts of the world and also in Africa already. One is through the Ministry of Education, directly approaching the ministry, and neo-humanist education courses at universities, then NHE at teacher training colleges, It means you go to the college and you introduce the course or some aspect of our education. Then train school directors and teachers in existing schools, in public schools, in private schools. Then neo-humanist education training to volunteers, unemployed, retired teachers, local full-time workers, whole-time workers, that means more who are totally dedicated to work for this concept. Then by starting new schools from the grassroots, and then starting after school classes. So to approach the Minister of Education, you prepare a packet and you go and give a presentation and follow it up. We have experiences where the Minister of Education has translated our manuals, where they have distributed it freely to the teachers and very much supported. And some countries who have asked to actually design the whole educational department. So those who have the confidence, inspiration, and some persons in the ministry, approach them and try. They should be aware that we exist, and we are always ready to share with them all our material that we have. And through the local teachers, the clan leaders, the community leaders, we can also convince them on a local level, on a regional level, community level, and we can also train the teachers. Through Neohumanist education courses at universities, you introduce NHE to faculty, educators teach Neohumanist education courses, they do research, they encourage research, and the students take up theses on Neohumanist education. So we have that example in Thailand, where one professor was so inspired, and he has been writing books on Neohumanist education. He started his own school, and he actually popularized Neohumanist education in the whole country. So everybody knows about it and is aware. Neohumanist education at teacher training colleges. So here you go and you work with the students or with the teachers, or you give seminars, workshops, lectures, you share the books we have, and you work on publications together with them, and you inspire the students to take internship in our schools. In our existing schools, they come in as interns, and they learn from us, and we also get good volunteers, you can say, work with our children. Then train school directors and teachers in existing schools. This is a school in China. So only one person goes in and regularly comes there and gives workshops on certain aspects of our education that the director is interested in, and the teachers also would like to get more experience in that. So in this way, we can share so much. Here you see a whole crowd of teachers from Indonesia. They passed a 3-year teachers training for 100 public schools, and they made their own kind of material. They developed the concept with only 2 of our own neo-humanist education trained persons. So here you see them designing and making material and adjusting it to their own needs, and they worked very hard, for all these years. and they developed such a good system, and they can share it easily with other parts in Indonesia. This started after the earthquake in the big tsunami in Indonesia. So then we can give Neohumanist education training to volunteers. You can advertise simply on the public media, invite anybody, invite people and say, come, you can be a volunteer with us, and you give them the Neohumanist education training and say, now you do any one of those activities, go to a school, you start after school programs, you start a school in a certain area, whatever way they want to apply the Neohumanist education. You can also invite unemployed, retired teachers. The teaching job actually never stops, So even the teachers are retired, they are actually very good resources, and they can still teach so much. And then you train the local full-time workers and the whole-time workers, so they become well-versed in the education, and they can go out into the community. Here we have an online teachers training, which is starting in 4 days. It's a 2-year online course. It's called the Neohumanist Teacher Preparation Program at the Neohumanist College of Asheville. So you would have to quickly apply. Anybody who is interested, it's a very demanding course, but you get the most experienced Neohumanist faculty teaching you and interacting with you. So it's something very valuable, and you will be able to be a very good Neohumanist education trainer in your community, in your area after this course. So the teacher's qualifications, above everything, what we're looking for is, these are the criteria given by Sri Prabhat Ranjan Sarkar, the founder of Neohumanist education. So when you pass all these courses and you want to get your certificate, he would test you in unselfishness. How to test the person? It's like very interesting concept he gave. Inspiring personality. See how wonderful, it's like really the teacher is someone you love. It's not someone you're afraid of, not someone you hate, not someone, you don't want to go to school. No, it's like it's somebody who really supports, knows you from very deep, and encourages every bit in you to become more and more unfolding blossoming your whole personality. So that the teacher's qualification, again, the personal integrity, all the moral, fiber in you is really aligned. So, and then the strengths of your character, it's, because the children absorb the teacher, they know everything about the teacher. So your personal life, your social life, your spiritual life, everything has to be in harmony, because the children know, everybody knows. You are, that's why the teacher is called like a Samaj Guru. Guru means like one who teaches, by example, the one who is, everybody looks up to. So another quality is righteousness, knowing what is right and wrong, and giving guidance to their children at any moment when they come to you. And having a deep, strong feeling for social service, leadership ability, and high professional standard. So again, the exemplary role of the teacher is a very key, very super high quality And so again, the teachers embody the noblest qualities of humanity. It is like a mantra, if you have to put it in your, write it out in a big, put it on a wall in your room. You embody the noblest qualities of humanity, because, teachers want to guide, the children, to become, like you. They have to step into your footsteps. So then when after all this training that you can do, then you have another trained cadre, and then they can go out and start schools from grassroots. And our founder, he used to send us out all the time. He asked every day, did you start a school today? We could not say no. How can we start every day one school? But he made us really run, and so we started under the tree, in a garage, anywhere. Learning is simply having a teacher, and the teacher has the principle, the philosophy, and then the learning happens, and children are fascinated, because the children, they are thirsty, they want to know, they have so many questions. Yeah, so you start with from small, from kindergartens, and you grow. The school will grow, the parents will also love what you are doing, and they will help, and the whole community will help. And that is how we have started all the schools that we are running now. It started from zero. And you adjust to the needs, the culture, and the needs of real life in the locality, and go with the flow, and just start thousands of schools. And you work with the parents, invite the parents into the school. You work, you get the local people come and give some stories of their life, their culture, their skills. So always have a connection to that is the school. The school becomes really the focus in the community. So everything starts from small and then grows big. And the children also grow big. So then, trained Neohumanist education persons, they can go out and start after school classes. Here is one person who simply went into the schools, and he made a job out of his training. It became his permanent job to go from one school to the other, and he teaches them so much. He teaches them about morality, about stories, about wisdom, philosophy, yoga, meditation, so many things that did not have so much place in the outside education. Because outside education is so much stress is focused on on the grades and passing exams, and so the personal development is not such a big component. So here we come in, and teachers love it, the whole school loves it, parents love it, and the children transform from inside. Here, this is a boarding school in India, and they learn dance and singing, and this is a girls' high school, and the children come from various parts of the country, and the parents send the girls there because they know it's a wonderful place where from morning till at night, they are in a very sentient environment, and they start with singing, and they do so many wonderful activities all day, and it really transforms them totally. Then you can also organize, from time to time, like a contest, a science contest, art contest, story writing contest, and you invite, all the schools in your community, and you make a program, and then it becomes a yearly event. And everybody knows in the community, oh, the first week on January, for example, there is a science, workshops in a place, and everybody, they send their best students and they'll work on something. So you can do a lot of creative things put into the existing schools, work with the existing schools. Like here in Croatia, we did a competition, a contest for children to write their own stories and illustrate them. And it went to 900 schools. And this project is already running for almost 20 years. And every year, the children produce beautiful books. And we have an exhibition. We print the best books that they made. And it has become a very, very popular program in the schools, and it is a yearly program. And then you also can involve the children in hands-on sustainable agriculture. If you have a land or you use the community land, and let them learn about growing and producing and making food, and you can get experts to come and it can be funded. You can do all these extracurricular activities with the existing schools in the community. And in this way, you create new dynamic spirited cadre from these activities, and they will go out and they will do the same thing. They will continue the whole education, and education is not a one-day affair in a big continent like Africa. We are looking at 100 years from now. So, but we have started, and we are moving, and we will continue, and we will totally expand. And then here's a beautiful quote from Sri Prabhat Ranjan Sakar. He says, "Education which leads to the acquisition of knowledge plus morality makes for a peaceful society." And you can see the laughter of the kids, that is, total bliss, total joy of the teachers. And as our founder says, this is your only prize, your real, payment for your hard work, to see the happy laughter of the children and know that they're growing up, with so much kindness and so much real human beings. So thank you very much. Namaskar. This is my email. And if you would like to have these slides, you can get them and you can use them. You can update them with new pictures, and yeah, anybody can have them. You can freely distribute it. Thank you.
Thank you, Didi. Dada, can we do the breakout room? So, Didi, thanks a lot for the presentation. It was wonderful. Do you have any questions so that people can discuss in the breakout room?
What can you do to implement Neohumanist education in Africa?
Okay. Just 1 minute.
How can I get rid of the screen?
Okay, 10 minutes, Tada, or 15 for the breakout rooms?
15 minutes.
Okay.
But did he need to give us some questions, or just people
It is
discuss
okay.
about?
Yeah, I mean, what you think you can do to implement, to spread neo-humanist education in Africa? How can you help? Or this is for people are here from different parts of the world. Then we can say,
Yes.
what can you do to spread neo-humanist education? Only one question. Something
Okay.
practical. What you will do from this workshop?
Okay, now everybody can join the room. Just go in breakout rooms and you can choose the room that you are going to enter by language.
Or maybe we can just be together. Is that possible or not?
Yes, can be also, if you want a group
Yeah.
discussion.
Okay, so I will close our room.
Okay.
Yeah.
But leave the room for translation.
Yes. It is okay, that translation.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah, who'd like to start? No?
Didi, this was very inspiring talk that you
Thank you.
gave. Thank you.
Thank you.
I feel a little bit cynical or negative, or your talk was really inspiring, but I'm thinking like it's so difficult to put into practice. It looks so simple, but even among us Margis, we find it difficult to practice, neo-humanism. We fight, we have problems, we don't solve the problems in a good way. I don't know. As I say, I'm a little bit negative.
Okay, Mira, look, as I said, education, we have to see 100 years ahead.
Exactly, yeah. I have no problem when we are with children, but then among us adults, we forget this, and these sentiments are so strong, and they bring us down.
Yes. But in 100 years, you see, many of us will be gone. And, always the new generation has advantage.
Mm.
They have more brain cells, they are more developed, and they turn the wheel of society. So that, we cannot say, I will not do anything, because you're planting seeds. And the seeds will, maybe sprout after the, 2 generations.
Yeah.
We
I
simply
really
have to do.
Yeah, I think I would like to have your slides, because I did not hear before that Baba put so much emphasis on personal development in education. And I totally agree with this. I heard somewhere that, this Nazi regime during Hitler's time had, like, there were 10 people who were coordinating with him, organizing this system, and all of them had PhD, and they were highly educated. So I really believe that we need good and people, who work on their morale and whatever.
Yeah, good. Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, wonderful. So lovely. Lovely to hear you.
So,
Yeah.
so those who have questions, can you please put them on the chat so we can together reply to them? Please write the questions so we can read them. It will help us decide. There is a comment here from Karunesh. Karunesh is saying, what are the effects or advantage that are observed in the Neohumanist education? What are the advantages? What are the effects and benefits that are observed by adopting Neohumanist education in the different aspects of life and education? So basically, what are the advantages of Neohumanist education in society?
This is a study that we have not done extensively. Arun has started, looking into the students that passed through his school. And he has, of course, he has the students, they're quite long. So he knows a lot of how they developed. And, from him, we can have a lot of interesting feedback. Other schools, they have not done, a good collecting good material, how the children developed. But we know from before that, when the children would come from our schools, our kindergartens, and they go into the primary schools, that they are very confident, they are very good behaved, and they have, good personality. So that those effects we used to hear from our kindergartens in Asia, especially. Yeah, I cannot totally, we don't have it is a good research subject. So somebody would like to do their research on this, that would be good, wonderful.
Here in South America, where I live, we have seen some big difference in the kids who are in humanist education when they join the normal school, the mainstream schools. They are very smart, they are mostly best, and the emotional intelligence generally is higher. So what Didi was telling about academic education and preparing the person for life, we can achieve them in both in humanist education.
Didi, I have one question. I read it. What is the main quality that a neo-humanist teacher must have?
Yeah, I was reading those qualities. I mean, I was enumerating those qualities. I think it's really the moral standard, your character development must be, if that is strong, wow, you can do anything in the world. And, I would like to, remind, yeah, I would say that is the most important. Your character, your moral quality. That means you cannot be corrupted. You really know your principles, and you would just never ever compromise, for money. If you compromising your values for something, you cannot be bought. If you can be like that, oh, those qualities are totally rare in the world today. But they're coming slowly. People are emerging who say, no, I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the principle. And I want to do this and this. And I'm not going against anybody, but I'm going for this. That kind of language, it comes from the confidence of a person. Thousands will follow. Because Baba said, your words should mean to you more than your life. So we're teaching the children to use their words, to blend their conviction, their confidence on values, which are, I love the animals, I love the people, I have no problem. But if somebody is wrong, I am not afraid to speak out. So, oh yeah, that is life.
Thank you. Any more questions or comments? You can put in the chat, or you can open mic and talk.
One question which comes often is, we are today observing huge change in the area of technology. So we have artificial intelligence which is coming in. We are developing the Internet of Things. The era of industrial development is coming to not an end, but it is metamorphosing so fast. And the method of education seems to be outdated to this reality. So how Neohumanist education will meet this challenge?
Hi. There is this, I tell you the example of this Vivek Ramaswamy. He's American candidate, presidential candidate on the Republican Party. Now he has Indian roots. And he said, I was brought up in the family and, with my faith. And he says, that he wants to dismantle, the entire education department in America. And that is, I love his way of saying that, get rid of it, get rid of the whole education department, because they're just making mess, they're losing the people. 30% they are taking, medication, people are mentally finished, physically unfit. I mean, they're a psychological mess. And this is a education, from the first world. Nah, forget it. They have to start from zero. So Africa now, or the third world, they have to, they have this, pristine beginning, I would say, where now it really comes to, okay, they want to throw out colonization, but they have to get to some values, so now we have to bring neo-humanist education to the countries, to the top level. Let them, take it, take something. This is not materialistic. That's how.
Excellent, Didi. But at the same time, as he's telling that he wants to remove everything, it is not possible to go back to the state where to the past. So science is developing. So it seems Neohumanist education is more an education of conscience, né? Of conscience, of...
Yeah, of course. But I mean, he said also, I will, for example, this guy, he said, I will also want students to work hard. I mean, our students have to work hard. It's not only you're gonna, you can soft into arts and creativity. No, you have to have the mind into creative problem solving. Not away from the reality of the world. They have to see the problems, not to be afraid. We have to get rid of this fear psychosis. We're afraid of climate. We are afraid of this, and everything is a monster. No, there is no monster. How Guru says, they give all these ghost stories to get rid of the fear of ghosts. So now we have to get rid of the fear of the artificial intelligence. We are not afraid of them. We have even super high intelligence. And it's like there is no force on this universe that is stronger than our connection to the supreme source. And that's why, many educations, they cannot use the word God anymore. If you use God, the word God, it's like you are, you put your finger into the electric, circuit, and you are just dead, No, we have to address the supreme consciousness, whatever word you will use, hundreds of words, but it has to be there. It has to be so strongly part of our life, part of our fabric. Otherwise, we have nothing. We cannot just go into intelligence, artificial intelligence, and all this competition. We have to be connected.
Yeah, in line with what Baba said, that when there is a technological advancement, and which is higher than human advancement, then the tendency is that human beings tend to go into the chaos you just explained. So that human advancement, cultural advancement, that will be the checking point, or that developed mind using science and technology is the asset of Neohumanist education.
Yeah. It will be amazing. Of course, things will speed up, but we have to feed those artificial intelligences. We have to feed all those things with moral values. We cannot leave out the spiritual. There are now scientists who make a lot of fantastic ideas, but there is no spirituality in it. They're losing the humanism, the neo-humanism, the devotional heart. We have to fight for it. We have to go tooth and nail. We have not yet overcome the capitalist monster. It's still in the room. So we have to. That is our revolution. Is now the word. Our mantra is revolution. Yeah. We have to make deep changes.
I have another question, Vivi. We know that the adults are, children is not the problem, right? In this course that you have worked in, there is also like a constant training for the adults also to develop this neo-humanistic point of view of life.
Yes, of course. That is the whole idea, that we can give all kind of trainings, if it's the teachers training, or just the parents, or we can set up anybody who is trained in Neohumanist education, which are now many, in many sectors of the planet. So we can give any courses, anytime, anywhere. And I think it's important, it is something very good, so that we can go out and do, small bits here and there, just like making a afternoon class, once a week, you get a group of children. You can do amazing things. Yeah, I think everybody has to go out and use education as part of their service. And for that, you need a little bit of training. Yes, why not? Of course. Those trainings are available anytime. We can organize it.
Thank you, Didi. We still have more 5 minutes. If someone wants to share also and
So basically, we have a lot of material, and you can ask any whole-timer, any LFT, anywhere to give you organize, and you just do the education training. So we all started without being graduated from the top universities. Baba just sent us out, start a school. So in the same spirit, we can organize our own training. We can think, we can just see how to reach the people. People are so needy. Parents, teenagers, anybody. You can go to libraries, you can go to any kind of adventure, camps with children. You can invite children, for summer camps, holiday camps, overnight somewhere, like retreats in our retreat centers, only for children, not mixed. Actually, children always, don't get a good opportunity, even in the summer retreats. I think only the children in different areas would be good. Come for 1 week together. It's like life-changing experiences, just like for us. Children need the contact of enlightened adults. Yes, and we have, Neo-Humanist education is basically the entire philosophy of Ananda Marga, the entire philosophy of Neo-Humanism, and then the methods, how you work it out, how you want to bring it to the people. It's really up to the local, your own needs, your own community, where you are. There's a lot of homeschooling nowadays, so you can also do, I think, take out the children from the schools, basically. If the schools are not, good, there should be children, take them out and band together with the parents and make good schools.
I have one last question. Didi, considering the importance of the territories in this neo-humanistic education, do you think we should have a curriculum of neo-humanism?
Sorry, I did not hear the one word, important word in the beginning.
Yeah, it is need a curriculum for neo-humanist education. Do you think so? Considering that it's most important to have this local perspective?
The curriculum, you have to write it. When you know all the bits and pieces, it's like when you make a cake, you get all the ingredients, and then you just, you make the measurement, what you want to put in and how you want to, do it. So that is the curriculum. You look at everything, all the components and the needs, who are the people you want to touch, and then you make your own curriculum. You make the course, you write it out, you look into things. We have wonderful material, stories, and
okay, so each local will build
Yeah, each local, the curriculum is made locally by the teachers, by the people who are going to use it with the students, whoever is the student. We don't supply curriculum at all, zero, no. We supply philosophy, principles, different methods, all these things, and some examples, some examples of the methods, storytelling, arts, science, thinking, like that. But then you put it together.
There is another question here in the chat. Is neo-humanistic education child-centered education?
Yes, it's definitely child-centered. Yes, very much child-centered. Of course, we have societies where this idea is still very new. For example, India. India is very much teacher-centered. The teacher is like the at the front, and the children obey. So yeah, but but the teachers are very good, so at the same time we are from the outside, we are focusing on the teachers, the child-centered and child-directed activity, like learning corners, and yeah, we're doing a lot of that. It's very nice, and eventually India will catch up.
There was a comment from Catherine. Thank you. This is a wonderful and a very powerful force of change. She says the class was inspirational.
Yes. Neohumanist education is very, very inspiring. It is everyone should have a certain aspect, because we all are teachers, but if somebody takes it wholeheartedly, fully, it is a good service. And you will always know what to do. There is always opportunity to teach.
And when you spoke of revolution, is the revolution of the mind in the sense of mind, heart, and soul. And humanist education is just that type of revolution. Yesterday in the class, the Catherine was showing how education was used to spread neocolonialism and subversion, even in the mind, as you said, in the US. People sick on medicine and all these things. So it's not just in Africa that we have a problem with education, it's all over the world. And the way to address that is through education. Nelson Mandela, in fact, said that education is the strongest weapon we have against exploitation and colonization.
It's so true. Really, it's the mind. It is really the mind over another mind. A mind which is now become calcified, fossilized, capitalistic mentality. They cannot change. They will never leave. They will continue exploiting, killing, torturing people because they cannot change. So we have to come and, say enough. You go to the museum now. You're fossilized,
To the zoo, outside of the city. In some remote zone in the Arctic.
children are, children should become really the teachers. And they are, they are always the teachers. They teach us, for them, there is no dogma, no boundaries. Yeah. And we have to save the youth. The youth are the ones who totally confused. And so we need, camps, we need VSS camps, we need our, dynamic, get the spirit going in them. Yeah. And it is only by creating this wheel of education, wheel of volunteers, LFTs, whole-timers, Margis teaching, and then bring the young people and they become the teachers. The young teach the younger, and then it goes on like that. Because, when you do service, your life is enriched. You have a purpose, and then you feel like you're living for something. Meditation does not work without service. It doesn't work. But if you do more service, more action, you need the meditation just to calm down, just to clear your mind. You feel that love, that you have absorbed. And then you want to even do more service, So it's like I feel we need a wheel of young, dynamic people. And I'm so much interested in Africa for the training center for LFTs and whole-timers. That is, we need a good training center, maybe in different parts of Africa. Because, we need places where people can come and feel the environment. Even the environment gives, like almost like, I would say 30%, of the, Tantra Pita. You make a Tantra Pita where you meditate, you vibrate and sentient. You come in there and you already, just sit there and you already transform. So we need those kind of places everywhere. So buy your land and give it to the service, give it. Even there is no building there, just use the space, the environment. Bring a tent, bring people there.
I just wanted to say I'm in South Africa and I have worked with children for many years. My 2 children are both homeschooled, and I took 8 children from the township, from the location where they were abused, battered in a home. And I brought them to the farm every day. I went and fetched them in the morning, and I ran a program that I called Self-Organized Learning System, SOLS. And I literally just fed them breakfast, lunch, and supper. They played, we gardened. We did 20 minutes of English and learning, 20 minutes of their home language, 20 minutes of numbers, reading, stories, playing. And within 6 months, all of these children had gone from being incapable of sitting and concentrating to being self-organized learning systems. So I'm so inspired. Yes, start a school. Yay!
That's it. The entire education system is really coming from the teachers. All our inspiration is from the teachers like you, telling the stories what you have done, but how you have transformed with a few things, concepts, really. And I think we would love to have your story in our newsletter. You must write up your
I want to join you. I'm going to email you. I'm going to send you my information. I need to join a stronger force because I'm alone and I'm getting squashed.
Oh my God. So, no. No, not let you be squashed. No way.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So nice. Lovely. Wonderful. Right.
There's another question here in the chat. Lily, how many schools have you started and in which countries?
Oh, I've started a lot of schools. One time in Manila area, Manila city, greater city of Manila, I had 25 schools. It's amazing that time, when we were supposed to start school every day. We were driven, like to the ceiling, So I advertised, in the city, anybody who liked to learn about neo-humanist education. So I had all these young students come, and I give them class and seminar, and they come. And then I said, okay, now you go out and start a school. And they went to the slum. They started in a garage, under the tree, anywhere, I had 25 schools, and then they would come back for more training and how to do this and how to do that. They exchanged, and it was wonderful, So that's my Philippine experience. And then, yeah, I started school in Haiti, in Dominican Republic, there in in Egypt and Philippines, and I went to Vietnam. I worked with the Minister of Education in Vietnam. They invited me every year for 4 years, and I gave so many seminars, and we translated the manual we had. And then in Thailand, I started school in Thailand. And also I worked with the Minister of Education in Thailand, and they invited me to different teacher colleges. And one time, at that time, I was still new in the field of Neohumanist education. And one time, one college, they set up a seminar for 2 weeks. And I was the only trainer. I was the only instructor for 2 weeks. And these were like, people from the ministry and, professors. And I was like this little girl, And somehow it went, one professor helped me, and it went all right. So yes, you just have to move out. We had no other, we could not do otherwise, because, the force was so strong coming from our spiritual master that we just, he just wanted to know when you started school yesterday. Yeah. So it went.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Didi, for your class and sharing your experiences. I hope many were inspired to go on this adventure of revolution on the intellectual, physical, intellectual, and spiritual level that our Neohumanist education embodies. And as you said, it is required everywhere on the planet. It was great to hear the story of Catherine. Hopefully she joins the Humanist School of Asheville to get more equipment. And thanks for the translators. All of you are being praised by the attendants, that the translations are fantastic today. So thanks a lot for that. And Narada, do you have anything to say?
No, nothing to add.
Okay. So Didiji, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dada.
If you want to say something to conclude your class.
When I first saw our spiritual master, I told him that I was working in the schools in America. Then he said, our education system is a human-making system. So that was very, just one word, this making human beings. So very simple. It's like, what it means to be human. And I feel Africa is, you know, I went to Ghana and Togo one time, and I felt the people there, it's like they're so simple. They're really human. You know, they have a different vibration than in the intellectual Europe or, you know, this crazy America. You know, it's like Africa. They're just simple. You know, just they're vibrating. They're shining. The faces are shining. You know, it's like. And the music is like so vibrant, you know, it's like almost like the entire music in the planet came from Africa. And I told him, if you sing in Ghana, I think I can hear it in Egypt. So it's like, you know, and I feel that, you know, Africa has a good chance, you know, to bypass, you know, all this crazy materialistic, you know, aberration, you know, and pseudo culture and all this junk, you know, that, you know, it's like a heap of garbage on top of our heads. And I think that if we get an army of people in Africa to just move out and start, you know, thousands and thousands of schools under every tree, you know, just get the kids from anywhere, you know, because there are plenty of them. So thank you, Dara. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks a lot, Didi. Namaskar. Thanks a lot to all. And till next weekend on Friday.